What's up, everybody? Raeal the Protogen here, and welcome back to My Furry Protogen. We're on episode 8, where we just had a talk with Lance about maybe not leaving the planet, maybe not leaving his family behind. I hope he makes the right decision, because, man, I can't take this emotional roller coaster anymore. Like, we gotta get it, man. You can't come with us. Make sure to leave a like on this video, leave a comment about your favorite part about My Furry Protogen, or Juno for that matter, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more My Furry Protogen content in the future. We still got an entire game ahead of us, and My Protogen Engineer coming up after this, so if you want to see those games, subscribe to the channel. That being said, let's continue. Pixie woke us up just before dawn so that we could pack and prepare for departure. The weather was surprisingly benign, no wind, just snowflakes swirling in the air, slowly sinking into the ground in a dance. When all the necessary preparations were completed, we went outside. The villagers were waking up, and a few villagers and their children came to the north exit of the village to watch our departure. We went outside to wait for Lance. In the back of my mind, I still hoped he wouldn't come, or at least come to say goodbye, but at the same time, I knew I would be happy with whatever choice he made. Well, he's informed. That's the important decision. He had to know exactly what he was getting into. Finally, we saw Lance's entire family, led by him, heading towards the jet. He was carrying a small bag of stuff on his back, and he was carrying Yuki, who immediately waved to Juno and me with a big smile on her face. We waved back. Lance stopped in front of us, his family a few steps behind. I looked at Lance, seeing from his face that he'd been up all night thinking. So, ready to make a choice? Raeal, can we have a chat in private? While you two talk, I'll spend some time with the kids. Juno, 100% using this opportunity to do some biologist research to figure out, like, do some experiments on the kids. Like, oh, you weigh this much. You weigh this much. Let's see how far gravity takes you. I totally see Juno as being the fun aunt. We move away from everyone behind a big tree, and Lance blurts out, I don't know what to do anymore, Raeal. I don't. I can't make this choice. The more I think about everything, the harder it gets. I could see that he was about to cry, but he resisted it and tried to talk as calmly as he could. My mom said that she would accept my choice, but that made it even harder. Yeah, because you can feel the love now, can't you? I want to fly away, but I can't. I love them so much. But my dream... What should I do, Raeal? I can't make this choice myself. I need your advice. Are you sure you need it? You should listen to your heart. My heart can't make this decision either. I thought the entire night, and I still don't know what to do. Lance looked at me with his wet eyes, hoping for a clear answer. Even though I tried to convince him yesterday, now I wasn't so sure. Lance seemed to understand the downsides of each choice, but couldn't make the choice himself. So, whatever I say now will change his life forever. I have to make a choice in a My Furry Protogen game? What? I haven't had to make a choice in this game at all, I don't think. Oh fuck! My choices have consequences. What do I tell him? How do we progress the story? What happens if I say follow us? What happens if I say don't follow us? I'm not playing through this twice to figure it out. We're gonna have one ending, and that ending is gonna be him staying with his family, because I definitely think he needs to stay with his family. He needs to. He needs to. He can't. He can't. He can't do this, man. He really can't. For his family's sake. I know he hates his life. I know he hates his circumstance, but, like, he literally may never see them again. He's gotta stay, bro. He has to. Sighed heavily and shook my head, turning my gaze towards Lance. Lance, it will be very difficult for you to return to your family if you travel with us. Even if you manage to find a way back home, be a different person. Everyone and everything will have changed. There's no doubt that you'll change under the influence of space travel, and once you depart with us, it'll be extremely difficult to return to your family. Even if this may not be what you want to hear, you are still young. There might be many more opportunities to fly away and follow your dream of traveling through space in the future. But for now, your family needs you as much as you need them. Lance tried to wipe away his tears, then made a deep breath and said, Thanks, Raeal. This talk really helped. Oh, my heart. My heart. I've never wanted to tell somebody to stop chasing your dreams. That's stupid. I hate that. But man, oh, now I feel bad. Too late. The choice has been made. You can go back to doing what you were doing. I need a minute or two to think about everything. All right, we'll be waiting. I come back to everyone. Juno nodded as soon as she saw me, then continued talking with Lance's siblings. Lance soon came back. Yuki immediately jumped on and hugged him. His mother asked him in a nervous voice, "So, honey, did you make up your mind?" "Yes." Lance set Yuki on the ground, then turned to us. Spent my whole life chasing a dream, my whole life wanting to get out of here. But after what happened, after the whole virus thing, I realized how much I love this place. I love the inhabitants, I love my planet. I guess it's my destiny. I shudder to imagine what would have happened if I hadn't met you and if I hadn't helped defeat the virus. I decided to stay home. I want to do everything I can to make this place thrive as much as possible, not run away from my problems. I want my family to be safe, and I want my brothers and sisters to know that they have a loving father figure to look after them. Thank you for showing me what space looks like, for showing and explaining so many new things to me. But as I sat there in your ship and looked at all the splendor, I realized that what I loved the most was my planet. I want to stay. No other corner of the universe will be my home to me. My home is here. A smile appeared on my face. I felt my heart clench with the joy of his maturity, the sadness of parting. I'd almost gotten used to the idea of Lance coming with us, so I was a little unprepared to say goodbye. In the days we spent side by side, Lance became a true friend, one that I had never had on my home planet. I smiled meekly and said, "A worthy choice, my friend. I hope everything goes well for you and your family." Lance nodded and smiled back. "And I hope you find the cause of the anomaly and defeat the virus. I'll pray to the spirits that you'll be all right. Not that I believe in them, but just in case." Three of us laughed quietly. "You're doing great, Lance. I'm sure your family will always be happy because of you. Come and visit me as soon as you get a chance. And even if I'm no longer here, my descendants will know of you and will welcome you with great joy." I felt tears well up in my eyes. Juno must have been close to tears too. "Oh, come here. Come here, brother. Give me a hug." She stretched her arms forward and she hugged Lance in a manner that I could only describe as a vice grip. Oh, and her protogen strength. That man is struggling. His poor spine. After that, it was my turn. Lance and I clutched each other in a tight brotherly hug. I patted him on the back, sniffling slightly like a child. "It's gonna be okay, buddy, and we'll be sure to come visit as soon as we've dealt with this anomaly. I'm sure you'll succeed. We will be forever grateful for saving us, and the elders are even talking about establishing a holiday in your honor." "Well, that's not really needed. Hey, you saved us. We and our descendants will remember this and thank celestial travelers Juno and Raeal for not abandoning our planet at such a dangerous moment." As we hugged one more time, Lance stepped towards his family. Yuki, Shali, Gargo, Jarl, and Ray smiled at us and took turns hugging us goodbye. "Oh, by the way, I completely forgot. I got you some souvenirs to remember me by. Take them, so you'll remember us for sure." Lance took the pouch off his shoulder and held it out to us. "Thank you, Lance. Thank you for everything." "Goodbye, Lance. I hope we'll meet again soon." With those words, Juno and I moved towards the jet. Lance stayed with his family. He lifted Yuki in his arms, who waved goodbye with a happy smile on her face. They got their brother back! Once in the jet, Juno and I began to slowly rise into the air towards the sky. Till the last minute, we watched Lance and his family from the window of the jet, waving goodbye until they were just dots in the white sheet of snow, and the jet disappeared behind the clouds, climbing higher and higher towards the ship. Damn! The next day! Truly some really sad goodbyes happening in this, especially for like Lance and stuff. Man, he was a good character. I liked his character arc. Kind of sad that we got to leave him behind, but at the same time, like, I really don't feel like he should have come with us. I don't know if my choice there actually mattered. Maybe he made the decision to like stay, even if we chose the other choice, because then they'd have two different branching timelines for this story, and I don't know if they did that. Maybe I might go back and check. I don't know. Once the two of us were in the ship and rid ourselves of our thermal protection suits, I went straight to the navigation panel and sat in the chair next to Juno's chair. My eyes were still tingling slightly from the tears, but I was glad it had worked out the way it did. That Lance had stayed with his family, that they could continue to foster the love that held them together. Even though I had Juno, and I loved her dearly, more than I loved anyone, I still missed having a family like this. Even though I never had siblings, and I could hardly imagine what such a responsibility as caring for them meant, my chest ached. I wish I knew what it was like. I wish I could bring my parents back to hug them after such an emotional life event. Juno, finding me in the chair, sat down in her seat. We were silent for a few minutes, staring ahead. "Everything okay, Raeal?" "Yeah. I'm glad Lance chose his family. Glad they'll be together no matter what. But I wish I could see Mom and Dad right now." Juno nodded understandingly and put her hand on my shoulder. "Your parents would be proud of you, Raeal. I'm sure of it." Damn it! God! My feelings! I'm not supposed to feel in a porn game. I'm supposed to... Never mind. Can't say that on YouTube. You help others while putting yourself in danger, they would be proud of you. That's because the only way to help heal this pain is to help someone else. I want so damn badly to stop these damn anomalies, Juno. I want it gone and whoever created it to be punished. Juno took my hand in hers and squeezed it gently. I squeezed her palm in return. I'm sure we can do it, and if we don't, we'll do it. I'm willing to give my life for that. I can't live peacefully while this thing exists somewhere. Imagine what would have happened if we hadn't helped Lance's planet. What would have happened if we just passed it by? But we were there for them. We stepped in and helped. That's the most important thing. Yeah. And I want to keep it that way. Juno said nothing. I could see the sadness in her helmet from the side, but she only squeezed my hand tighter in hers. I like how they're so close that he can kind of like get a sense for how she's feeling just through her visor. It's gonna be okay, Raeal. Do you think we'll still be able to visit Lance when the mission's over? I don't know. Depends on how far we fly in pursuit of the anomaly. Time and space moves differently at different points in space, so we shouldn't give ourselves any false hope. I nodded. It was hard to accept the fact that I might never see Lance again. He'd become close to me, and now I had to lose someone close to me forever. Again. It seemed that no matter how much we fought the anomaly, it wasn't getting any better. We were only gnashing out the little crumbs of change with our teeth without affecting the bigger picture. Let's just rest tonight, okay? As soon as the final results of the research are ready, we can decide where to go next. Yeah, we should probably go to sleep. We've been awake for like 2 days. I had a nice home-cooked meal. Home-cooked meals make me all eepy and make me want to go wee snaw. And, with Juno and I now having the ship to ourselves, I mean... Wait, wrong gesture. Oh, wrong face. Ah, fuck. Wrong face. There it is. Juno and I having the ship together now. Alone. To do things. Oh, yeah. I nodded, realizing we had no other option. So we had to wait again. The next day. The following days went by at a familiar pace. I spent every day in the gym again, trying to make up as much time as possible. Oh my god, I'm butchering these lines. Dude, can somebody give me like reading lessons? I need reading lessons because I can't read. I can't speak. My brain to mouth don't work too good. And not working good doesn't work good for me. The following days went by at a familiar pace. I spent every day in the gym again, trying to make up as much time as possible for the time we'd spent on wire. Juno was working on the research results, sitting in the lab most of the time, while I could only hang around the ship aimlessly. I guess if Lance had stayed with us, it would have been easier, and I would have been able to spend time with him, chatting without feeling helpless and useless while Juno did all the work for me. But that was just our battle, which Lance had nothing to do with. He had a life of his own, and now he could enjoy it to the fullest. The next day! And now that it was just the two of us, my thoughts were fully devoted to our mission again. The further we flew out into space, the more I felt like something dark festered in my soul. It seemed that all our victories, all our achievements, amounted to nothing. In just a few days, the rescue of Wire and of 0-1221M had been overshadowed by the immense responsibility we shouldered. I was overwhelmed by a growing emptiness in my heart. I tried to forget about those things again by spending hours in the gym, but it felt like I was just doing nothing. How could such training help our mission? I could never match Juno's strength. Next to her, I felt like I was weak, feeling afraid that I couldn't do anything to help Juno. To be fair, she is augmented to be very strong for hugging sake. Yeah, hugging. Please crush me. This realization filled me with a sadness, anger, and anxiety. Ooh, the lab. But after several days on the road, Juno finally finished analyzing data and called me to the lab. Oh, she looks... Oh my god, she's working herself to the bone. Girl, you need some sleep. You need some rest. You need to lay down. You need to die for like a day so you can like recharge. Like, you can't survive off of coffee. Trust me, I've tried. It doesn't work like that. You want some RAM? I got some RAM. Tasty RAM stick body pillows available on bluescreenapparel.com. This is not a joke. She again looked extremely tired. Even her visor showed that. But I couldn't ask her about that. She just started the conversation quickly. Remember how I told you that those devices from Wire were different from the ones we collected on 0-1221M? I sat down in the chair next to Juno and nodded. Yes, I remember. Did you find out what the difference was? Not exactly, or rather, I was only partially right. These devices are essentially identical, but they work differently. What does that mean? I thought you said they were the same. Yes, but these crystals, which are the main components on the devices, are very complex elements. As far as I can tell, they analyze the external environment and then adjust the virus to match it. Oh, so it is kind of a sentient thing. It's just maybe more AI-based? Maybe it's nanotechnology. Wait a second. That would make sense for the virus. That would make sense for the black blood. That would make sense for the planet fucking exploding. Maybe it is gray goo theory?
Nanomachine, son.
My hypothesis is that by analyzing the environment, they are adjusting the virus. I found something similar in the 0-1221M devices. They also contain the virus, but it's not present in the samples from the planet. That means the devices didn't use it. But why? I mean, there were a lot of animals there. Exactly. And instead of infecting them with the virus and spreading it around the planet, the devices just sucked the energy out of everything living around them. Oh. And then, if we hadn't shut them down and taken them away, they would have simply destroyed the planet. Just like the others. How does a device know when to apply the virus and when not to? I think the whole point is that there was no intelligent life on 0-1221M. Oh, you're right, because there was no civilization there. It was just wildlife. But on Wire, there was. How do the devices know this? Like I said, they're analyzing the environment. I think whoever put them there knew that the planet was inhabited by an intelligent species. I think both scenarios, with and without the virus, are programmed into the devices. By analyzing the planets, these devices choose the right scenario and roll with it. So yeah, basically an AI thing. I listened carefully to Juno's statements, trying to digest and think it all through. But why wouldn't 0-1221M be infected with the virus as well? What difference does it make if it has an intelligent species on it or not? The virus kills all living things anyway. Not sure yet, but I think it takes a lot of energy to rewrite and activate the virus scenario. That's weird. Why does that matter? I mean, I guess it's kind of collecting power. I don't know. These devices are very complex, so I think they take a lot of effort to be produced. In order to guarantee their safety, whoever created them tried to minimize the risk by sacrificing some energy. If the plant is inhabited by intelligent beings, they can quickly discover those devices and disable them with some effort by using ranged weapons or something similar. And the virus just removes this possibility, as there is too much chaos in the planet after the virus is applied. If the planet is only inhabited by animals, then there's very little chance that they can do anything to the devices without approaching them directly. So it's all about the energy, right? And it doesn't matter at all what the planet is? Yes, the more energy the devices absorb, the faster they destroy the planet. But why would the devices absorb the energy in the first place? Where does it go afterwards? That's the thing. I don't know yet. It's got to be going somewhere. No matter how hard I try to work with the crystals, there's no recorded address in them. There is almost no information. But I'm sure it doesn't disappear or disintegrate with the planet. It's either collected by someone or the energy is redirected somewhere. That means they would have to be relatively close by if they're collecting the energy, right? Maybe some kind of remote thing? But why would the person behind it fly away from planets he destroys if he needs that energy? Wouldn't it be smarter and faster to just stay in orbit? Yeah, okay, my thoughts exactly. Wouldn't it be smarter and faster to just stay in orbit at a safe distance until the energy is collected? Juno nodded. I think there's something we might have missed. Anyway, whoever's behind this definitely not some ordinary person. He's using some very advanced technology that's been beyond the reach of most scientists in the universe. Can't fully understand the devices myself. If that someone has that level of technology, could we ever defeat him? He'd have to be so strong that even if we came face to face with him, we'd be helpless. Well, at least I would be. Juno still had a chance. She was a protogen, but me tried to brush those thoughts away. They wouldn't do any good right now. What are we gonna do? Thanks to the connection between the devices, I found another planet. We need to confirm the virus hypothesis. This next planet is uninhabited, on the edge of the galaxy orbiting a red dwarf star. My calculations and the connection between the devices are believed the devices were placed there only yesterday. Do you think there could be a virus there? What's the point of checking if we already know it can't be on uninhabited planets? Just prove your hypothesis! Test your theory! We don't know that for sure, it's just something I assumed. The absence of the virus could just be a coincidence. The devices work autonomously, I can say that with certainty. Whoever installs them cannot influence them from the outside. They are pre-programmed for a certain scenario. And you want to go to this uninhabited planet to observe the devices again? There was skepticism in my voice. Yes, I want to confirm the hypothesis. Besides, it is necessary in order to make further calculations. If the virus is really only on inhabitable planets, then we can look at the list of habitable planets in this galaxy in advance and prepare vaccines for them based on the vaccines from your planet and Wire. Like I said, the virus is the same everywhere. With a few exceptions, the difference is less than 5%. I sighed, realizing we had one more stop to make. Okay, if you say so, we'll do it. Here, I marked the point on the map. Look, I get this. He's like he's wanting to get this done real quick. He's wanting to be real quick with this. But I think it's important. We're kind of getting quicker at like finding these things and like figuring out where they are. She said that these ones have probably just been placed yesterday. So we're like right on the heels of whoever's like doing this. I think it's good to follow up on these leads, and I think it's good to prove these hypotheses, because like if we can't, then we're still like 10 steps behind this guy, right? But the more information we get, the better. Juno pointed to a monitor that showed a map of the galaxy. It's a planet with a pretty harsh climate. It's dry and there's almost no water, but there's a scant amount of organic life and plants. But the oxygen level is very low there. You'll have to wear the helmet and suit again. Ugh, all right. Are you going to sleep now? You look bad. I think you're overworked too much. You are right. It's time to have some rest. These last couple of days were awful. It feels like my head's going to explode. Yeah, get some sleep, girl! Yeah, you need some rest. You need some sleep. Juno didn't wait for me to say anything and went straight to the sleeping compartment. Yeah, fair. That's gonna be one of those head pillow dead moments.
The next day!
We spent the next few days traveling again. The planet Juno was talking about was called SR00845, and it was rarely visited by intelligent beings. I wonder if there's a point to the naming scheme of the planets. As we approached the planet, its relatively small size, especially when compared to Wire, became apparent from orbit. The planet emitted a faint yellowish glow. Descending in the jet, we observed clouds in the atmosphere shimmering with purple and red hues. Before we set foot on the planet, Juno equipped me with a special suit designed for breathing and protection against the hostile environmental conditions. The landscape that greeted us was reminiscent of a lifeless desert. The ground was blanketed in a dirty yellow sand covering most of the planet's surface. What do I feel like something bad's about to happen? Like, because we're right on the heels of this, whoever's doing this. What if he's still on the planet at this point? When the wind stirred, it whipped sand into the air, reminiscent of the snow back on Wire. Without the protection of our hazmat suits, the harsh conditions would have been unbearable within minutes. The hostile environment wasn't just due to lack of oxygen. Periodic sandstorms rose menacingly, at times nearly obscuring our entire view.
That's Dune!
Juno and I navigated using our locator, moving towards the first waypoint, as was our routine. She led the way, with me trailing behind, periodically surveying the barren expanse of the planet.
We get the drill. We understand. We're finding these things. We're using radar technology to find the anomalies, the blips in the radar, the bleeps, the bloops, the blips, and the blops.
Above us, the sky was cloaked in a heavy gray clouds. The light from the red dwarf star, the planet's sun, struggled to penetrate the atmospheric veil, casting a feeble yellowish light on this desolate world.
Damn. Seems harsh.
How long do we have to search?
Don't worry, it won't take long. This planet is pretty small.
And why would someone waste his time on this planet? It's even smaller than mine. Does it have much energy? The size of the planet is almost irrelevant when it comes to energy. Sure, there will be far less energy from smaller planets, but it's still a lot. What do you think this creature, whoever he is gonna do with this energy?
Juno shrugged.
I don't know, but I doubt he needs it for anything good. Could some space organizations be behind this? I remember you once told me about civilizations that use other planets as a power source. Maybe whoever is doing this is actually an entire civilization. Juno shrugged. I don't know, we can't say for sure, but if it was a civilization, the Intergalactic Alliance would soon find out about it.
This is my first time hearing about an Intergalactic Alliance? What the fuck?
They control everything that happens in this part of the universe. And even though the universe is big, this kind of activity by an entire civilization would not go unnoticed. Why don't we ask the Intergalactic Alliance for help? It sounds like they wouldn't mind finding out what kind of stuff is going on here. Juno grinned and shook her head at my question.
What? Is that... huh?
All the planets that exist here are too young, too underdeveloped. Although they said that they will protect such new galaxies, they don't actually care unless there are at least some valuable resources here.
Ah! Yes! Capitalism!
Until the consequences directly impact them, they'll remain indifferent. I sighed, angry at the harsh truth. Yeah, I guess it really is easier for them that way. Locals are lucky that you and I decided to take on this case. I doubt that anyone would notice a small galaxy being reduced to rubble and a lifeless wasteland.
Juno and I continued our journey in silence. I couldn't wait to get rid of the devices on this planet and move on, but Juno didn't seem to be in any hurry. She was walking calmly to the locator signal without increasing her stride, and this annoyed me with every new minute. Finally, she stopped altogether, lowering the locator and freezing at some strange, ugly, and dry cactus growing out of the dense sand. Wow, look at that! I didn't think a plant this big could have grown on this planet already. Wait, what if it's a society that's just been covered in sand? I cast an indifferent glance at the cactus or whatever it was. Why does it matter? Come on, we've still got more devices to disable. What do you mean? The last time someone visited this planet could have been hundreds of years ago, even thousands. Look at this beauty. We need to take a sample and enter it into the database. She's a biologist. She's going to do what biologists do. She's going to study plants and biology. She can study my biology if she wanted to. I mean, I'm free Saturday at 8 p.m. You want to do anything? Hold on. It shouldn't take more than 10 minutes. 10 minutes? Juno, are you kidding me? What's the matter? I just want to see what it is. It's important for research. It's not important for our mission. Come on, we're already wasting time being on this planet. It's a goddamn piece of rock. There's nothing here at all. Juno's helmet reflected a frown. Yeah, no, deserve. He's about to get an ass kicking. What do you mean there's nothing? Look, there are a lot of things. There's a lot of organic life here. There's insects and plants. And they will disappear if we don't turn off those damn devices. Let's go. I grabbed Juno's arm, wanting to drag her forward, but she stood her ground like a stubborn animal. We're not wasting time, Raeal. We haven't done anything but focus on the mission for the past 2 years. I just want to know what's going through our protagonist's head. I thought he was past this already. I thought he was beyond this, like, impatient babying, but just being a fucking child about this kind of thing. This is pissing me off in the story. I don't think it's necessary that he needs to be this impatient anymore. We've had this story arc already. We don't need to be going through it again. I get that he's, like, eager to get things done. I get that he wants to get things done, but they have to move at their current pace because they still had no leads. And he knows this. He understands this. God, it's kind of pissing me off, man. Can't I at least spend 10 minutes taking samples to study this planet? Oh, I know what 10 minutes means to you. You'll see some pebble that doesn't blend in somehow, then a bug, and on it goes. Oh my God, dude, shut up. We have a mission to complete. Dude, I want to punch you. I want to punch me right now. That's not okay. You don't talk to anybody like that. I don't care if it's man, woman, protogen, cyborg, fucking space jellyfish being. You don't talk to fucking anybody like that. We have a mission to complete, and we should be devoting all of our time to it, not doing whatever this nonsense is. Juno frowned. Nonsense? It's what I've been doing all my life, Raeal. It's not nonsense. It doesn't matter, but Juno didn't let me finish, literally exploding with anger in the next moment. Good. Deserve, crash out. Can we get some deserves in the chat? Deserves in the chat. Mission. I know. It's all you talk about, Raeal. That's all you're interested in. Mission. It's all I've been hearing from you for the past few months. Do you even remember the last time we just talked to each other? Not about devices, not about an anomaly, just for fun? When was the last time you and I just spent time together in a normal way? You're always either training, and as soon as I suggest you relax and just spend time together, you turn the whole conversation back to the mission. I spent 3 months trying to convince you that to try the VR helmet and play some games with me. I can't do this anymore. My head's about to explode. I stared at Juno with an angry, indignant look. What are you even talking about? What do you mean spending time together? We're together all the time. Dude, you do not get it. You do not. Can I slap me? Can I just, like, slap myself? Because god fucking damn, when she says she wants to spend time with you, that means she wants to forget about the cruelty that's happening around her. She wants to feel safe somewhere. She feels safe in your arms. You are her safe space. By consistently talking about this mission, you are no longer her safe space. You have ignored every clue she's given you. To be fair, she could probably be a little more open rather than exploding at this point, but I don't have any empathy at all for our protagonist here. We've already wasted tons of time, and all we do is fall behind. We're always one step behind Juno, no matter what we do. That doesn't mean we should live by the mission alone. 10 minutes won't change anything. I just want to get it over with. Of course, how would you know what it feels like to lose your family and planet? You didn't have a family, and your planet wasn't torn to hundreds of pieces that are now floating around somewhere in space. You don't know what it feels like. Juno went silent, staring at me with a startled look. I struggled to catch my breath, feeling the guilt of what I'd said begin to ripen in my chest. That was low. Fuck, that was low. But the anger that was building in me kept that guilt from developing, blocking it out, preventing me from stopping the fight. Are you saying it means nothing to me? I'm trying to do my best to complete the mission, Raeal. I'm trying. But you're always dissatisfied. My efforts are never enough for you. Why are you like this? I'm beginning to think you don't care about me anymore. Every time I ask you how you're doing, every time I want to talk to you, you just brush it off. It's like you're always mad at me for something, but I can't figure out why. God damn it, don't cry. No, don't cry! Juno, I'm sorry! It's not me! I promise you! It's not! What did I do, Raeal? Can you just spit it out already? What did I do to deserve to be treated like this? I've tried. I try every time, and you just don't see it. Don't talk like that. I realize you're trying, and I'm very grateful for what you're doing, but it has nothing to do with that at all. I can see that you're angry, but I don't know why. I don't know why you're so distant and cold now. I can see that something is eating you from the inside, but you never talk about it, and I don't understand why you won't tell me about it. Nothing's eating me up! Don't lie to me. Don't lie to yourself. I started pacing back and forth like a caged animal, feeling the rage bubbling up in my chest, rising to my throat in an endless stream. You want to know what's wrong? Do you? Everything's wrong. Have you ever felt completely useless? Felt that you were weak? That there was nothing you could do to protect those you cared about? I feel it every day. Every night I see dreams about my home, my family being wiped off the face of the universe, and there's nothing I can do about it. No matter how hard I try, no matter how much I train, I will never come close to your strength. I will never be as smart and all-knowing as you. You always do everything. You are behind all our victories and achievements. I kicked at the sand beneath my feet, wanting some way to release the rage that had burned so strong, so violently, bright in every cell in my body. I knew it wasn't Juno's fault. I knew I was being an idiot, an ungrateful bastard. You can say that again! Fucking goddamn, bro! See, I understand him. I understand where he's coming from, but I also understand that he's being a dick. But it was impossible to stop the flow of all the negative emotions that were building up inside me. I envy you because for me it's a struggle every day. Every day it's trying to reach the stars, trying to set new goals, trying to do something, but I can't. Trying to do something, but I can't. I'm helpless compared to you, Juno. I know I do nothing but follow you around like a little kid. I wish I had the same strength, the same intelligence, but I don't have that because I'm not a protogen. I'm a weak human, that's all. And you have that power. You can do everything, and you're wasting your time on that damn cactus. If your planet was destroyed, if your family was killed, you wouldn't act like this. When I finally stopped talking, out of breath, Juno looked at me with an expression on her helmet that made me want to punch myself as hard as I could. Do! Fist! Mouth! Now! You have no idea what life on my planet was like, Raeal. You have no idea what it was like. There's nothing to envy there. Of course I have no idea. You never told me anything. You keep everything away from me. How am I supposed to know what your childhood was like, Juno? Maybe I'm not important enough for you to let me in on your secret. Fine. If you don't want to share, then don't. That's not true. Don't say that. Don't ever say that. Juno's voice trembled, soaring upward and then falling back down again. I knew from the expression on her helmet and the breaking, trembling voice that she was crying. You're the most important thing in my life. You are more valuable than anyone. Just because I don't talk about my past doesn't mean I don't trust you. I just don't want to bring it up, that's all. You say I don't understand how you feel, but maybe I do. I didn't have a place on my planet. I didn't have a family like you. I only had Xena, but that doesn't mean I don't want to defeat the anomaly. It doesn't mean I think our mission is unimportant. Don't envy me, Raeal, because you don't know what it's like to be me. I've always been an outcast on my planet. The Protogens wanted nothing to do with me. Believe me, Raeal, you don't know what it's like. Wait, so is this after? So if we're going by, like, Protogen lore, right? Is this after the Protogens gained their freedom and sentience from the primogenitors? Then on Esmire 4 on the moon, after they terraform it? Do they have like a bustling society now? If so, that gives me an idea for the time that this takes place, which is very, very long after the initial Protogen rebellion. You've been nurtured and cherished your whole life. You were the chosen one in their eyes, but I was just a nobody. I had no one to support me. I got off the planet as fast as I could, and I wished I'd never gone back there again. How was I supposed to know that? Why didn't you ever tell me? Because I wanted to keep it to myself. Why do you think you're the only one who's right, Raeal? You're the only one who always knows what's best, both with Lance and with the mission. No one is obligated to feel the same way you do. And I have the right to not make the mission the top priority in my life. What does this have to do with Lance? He made his own decision, but you influenced him. You think you know better than anybody else, but that's not true. Just stop it. Lance has nothing to do with this. We were talking about you hiding your past and not caring about our mission. You don't consider the mission a top priority because you don't know what it's like to lose everything. Juno fell silent. Are we finally going to figure out Juno's backstory? Yeah, Raeal, I don't know. But you've become my family, and you're the only one I'm afraid of losing. And for some reason, you don't understand that. Juno cried again, her voice trembling, but before I had time to say anything, to do anything, he just ran away. God. I realize I'm not the one saying these things, like not me actually, but the amount of guilt that just washed over me. Ooh, that hurt. That hurt. Oh, that's rough. That hurt a lot. God damn, bro. Now you gotta chase her. Chase after the girl. Get her. You're fucking stupid. Tell her that. Because I swear to fuck, I will find a way to get into this goddamn game and punch you in your no face. I was left standing there next to that damned cactus. And as the anger in my mind disappeared, I realized how wrong I was. Yeah, Juno didn't tell me about her past, and she didn't have a family or a home the way I did. But she still did so much to help me. If it wasn't for her, I would have just died. I never would have been here. Guilt flooded my mind. On the one hand, I knew the mission was still important to me, and I wanted Juno to realize that. I understood her feelings, and it made me angry, resentful. For her, it was part of the expedition. She was doing research. She was interested in all this from a scientific point of view. Juno did not burn with a thirst for revenge like I did, and that was her strength. It did not burn her soul from the inside out as it did mine. I realized she was right about a lot of things. About my selfishness, about Lance. I left my family at a difficult moment and could not say goodbye to them when it was too late. Was I right? Well, only partially. If I hadn't fled, I would never have encountered Juno. I wouldn't have experienced love, nor would I have escaped the virus in the explosion. Despite our meeting being born from tragedy, I believe there's a reason behind everything in life. This echoes my mother's words, who always said that everything happens for the best. At times, it might not seem so, especially when it feels like the worst is struck, but reflecting on this, I realized my mistake. Juno was more precious to me than anyone else. I had no one but her now. I felt a sudden, wet, stinging sensation swell in my eyes. My vision began to blur with a bitter regret. Go find her! Find her, asshole! Cactus! Oh shit, there's a lot more plant life on this planet than I thought. I hastened toward the direction Juno had taken, relying on my locator. She wasn't far. Ahead, a cluster of tall cacti emerged, and there on a rock, Juno sat, hugging her shoulders. A pang of guilt and longing struck my heart. I approached and sat beside her on the spacious rock. We shared the silence for a few moments, then Juno started to slowly calm down. Her helmet lacked real tears, only displaying their animation, yet I could sense her pain mirroring mine. Juno, I sighed and placed my hand on her palm, gently squeezing her fingers in mine. I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry I said all that crap to you. I realize I can't devalue your feelings. I was just so angry at myself and my uselessness that I started to vent it all on you. It's really not your fault, Juno. I'm the one who messed up. Why didn't you tell me you were having a hard time? I'm always ready to listen to you, Raeal. You know that. I sighed and smiled softly. I know, Juno. And I know you're always willing to help. I was stupid. I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean for it to turn into such a vicious fight. And I'm sorry too. I should have realized how much it meant to you. But I'm so worried about you. I'm so afraid that something's gonna happen to you and I can't bear it. You'll always do everything you can to help me, Juno. I know that. And I'll always do the same for you. You already saved me once, and I'm the one who didn't get to return the favor. Juno shook her head. Don't say that. You have no idea what you saved me from, Raeal. You saved me from loneliness, and I will always be grateful to fate, the gods, the spirits, whoever did this, for meeting you. Oh, this is so cute. Ah! You're still a jackass, me, but damn, this is cute. I smiled, putting my arm around her shoulders. You know I love you, right? And I'll always love you. Don't ever doubt that, okay? I nodded, pulling her tighter against me, my bitter tears being replaced with ones of relief. I won't doubt it. And I love you too, Juno, more than anything. Even if sometimes I act like a complete idiot. Yeah, it happens to you sometimes. Hey! Look at her face! Ah, she's so cute! Oh, I love Juno so much. She's so fucking adorable. God! That's my wife! I'm kidding. Am I? Maybe. Juno and I both laughed, hugging each other, sitting back on that rock and forgetting about the mission for a few minutes. If it hadn't been for the protective mask, I would have gladly kissed Juno anywhere I could reach. All right, let's go. We need to disable the devices. And your cacti? Juno waved her hand. It's okay, don't worry. Besides, I already took them while I was sitting here. I smiled and nodded. Juno and I stood up, getting ready to head to our next target, but then Pixie's voice came through the communicators. Oh? Juno, my sensors are picking up a spike in activity. I think there's something going on with the devices. Juno immediately frowned in concentration. What activity, Pixie? What is it? Can you analyze its nature? Can't say for sure yet, but I can say with certainty that this activity is coming from the devices. Be extremely careful. Judging by the indicators, they have shifted into an active phase. What? Active phase? There shouldn't be such a thing. They were just installed here yesterday. Yeah, I know. It's really weird and I don't like it at all. That means the guy is here! The person! The man thing! I don't know! Wait! Come on, we gotta figure out what's going on. Let's get the first device as soon as possible. Why did they suddenly go into active phase? Did something trigger them? Juno shrugged, heading towards the locator. Devices need time to accelerate. The previous devices were in the early stages of activity when we found them, and that's why their activity radius was small. But now, where did they get the energy to accelerate so fast? It doesn't make any sense. Energy is taken from both from the planet itself and from living beings that inhabit it, but there aren't even any animals or other powerful creatures inhabiting this world. Why is there so much energy here? We haven't encountered this before, and I don't like it. Let's be careful. We don't know what this could lead. Where this could lead. Juno nodded. Yeah, let's go. Juno, Raeal, be careful. Don't get too close to devices right now. We don't know what their radiation radius is. Thanks, Pixie. We'll be in touch with you. Get the jet ready just in case. If something goes wrong, we'll need a quick evacuation. Understood, Raeal. Oh, shit! Things are getting real! Oh, man! That being said, though, I think we gotta leave this video on a cliffhanger, everybody. I'm gonna leave it there, and we'll continue this on from this point on in the next episode. So, thank you, everybody, so much for watching this video. If you did like it, make sure to leave a comment down below of your favorite part, and to leave a like on this video. Let me know you guys want to see more of this. We're gonna finish this video. I don't know how long we have left. Probably not that much longer, but we'll finish this series soon, and then move on to My Protogen Engineer with Xena later on. Remember to grab your Juno gear from bluescreenapparel.com. Link is in the description below, and to have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye, everybody! Wagga, 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 wagga.